Hello, it's the back end of September here at Homegrown Veg in the United Kingdom. So we've got our first autumn month in. These are some of the onions I've grown this year. As you can see, I've got them in store, they're drying off nicely. But we've already started next year's onions. We've sown the seeds, we've sown them indoors, but I'm going to bring them out now and let you have a look at them. These are them. Just let me take this lid off, let you get a closer look. That's them. I'm not too sure if you'll be able to see them at all, they're very small. We just ease this one out. It's a bit closer, hope you can see that. Yeah. So what have we got growing on in here? Well, we've got some Ailsa Craig and we've got some Walla Walla. We've also got some gourmet shallots, Zeebrown, and I've also got some Ailsa onion seeds growing on in here. And there's something else that I'm forgetting. We've got some leeks, we've got some Musselburgh. So what have we got? We've got Ailsa Craig, we've got Ailsa, we've got Walla Walla, we've got the gourmet shallot Zeebrown, and we've got some leeks, Musselburgh, at various stages. Hey, who would have thought that one of those could make one of these? Hey, come on. Who would have thought there's a possibility that one of those could make one of these? Unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable. Right, so what's the plan of attack? Well, what I intend doing is, as we move through autumn and we get into winter and it gets colder, I'm going to keep these in the greenhouse in this arrangement with that lid on. When it's cool, when it's warm, we'll take the lid off. If it gets even warmer, we'll open the greenhouse door. But at night, when it starts to cool down and get cold, we'll take these indoors. I mean, that's something you can do when you're gardening at home, isn't it? You can grow plants indoors, bring them out when the weather's nice, take them back in when it's not so nice. And that's what we're planning to do here at Homegrown Veg with these onions and these leeks. Now, I've got no red skins going at the moment, and I'm not too sure whether I want to grow those from seeds or from sets, because I grew some red skins last year from sets and they've done really well for me. So I might give the red skins a go again next year from sets, but I haven't made my mind up yet. And what I'm planning on doing in terms of moving these on is that I expect to grow them on in these yogurt pots through autumn, through winter and into spring. Now that's a long time, but I'm not expecting them to grow that fast because we are in the cooler, colder months. But come the spring of next year, these should be ready to go out into the raised beds and into buckets. Any that's spare can go into buckets or bags. These yogurt pots have a fine garden soil mix in them. And I've simply filled them to 1/4 of an inch from the brim, drizzled some seeds on, and then topped them off with fine garden soil. And then I use a light water spray when I feel as though they're ready for another drink. That's all they need, a light spray with water, and that gets them away. definitely do not need to do it this way, and you definitely do not need to sow the seeds at this time of year if you don't want to. No, you can wait till spring of next year, sow your seeds directly, or you can sow them indoors and bring them on that much quicker. You definitely don't need to do it this way, but if you want to do it this way, you certainly can. I know it works, I've done it before. I've done it last year. In fact, the year before last, when I grew some really big onions, I started the seeds in August and grew them on last year and produced some of those really big bulb onions. So I know this works, but if you want to leave it till spring of next year before you sow your seeds, yeah, you can definitely do that. I guess this gives us a head start, doesn't it? Right, so let's pop this lid back on. And we'll take another look at these a little further down the line. Wow, where did that month go to? Time to do our first onion shallots update. These went in mid-September. It's now mid-October, so we're well into autumn now here at Homegrown Veg in the United Kingdom. And this is the progress that these onions and shallots have made in one autumn month. Right, let's go around the crate and see what we've got. Okay, in this yogurt pot we've got Walla Walla. That's Walla Walla. This is also Walla Walla. Now there doesn't look to be a lot in this particular yogurt pot, but I haven't got that much room anyway, so I don't need a lot. But I'd like to get these through into next year and to be big enough to be able to move them on into either a raised bed or a bucket or a bag or all three. So these two are Walla Walla. I've never ever grown Walla Walla successfully, so that would be a first for me. I think I've tried it once and failed miserably. Right, these aren't even onions. These are Musselburgh. These are a leek. So I've got some leeks going as well. And I definitely have more leeks than I'll need here. Definitely. So if we can get these to a stage where they're ready to be moved on, I'll give most of these away, I would imagine. So that's the leek, Musselburgh. Now these are some onion seeds that I got given. This is my second year with these. These are Kelsey. Boy, these make a big onion. I got these seeds from Dave at Abroth's World. He just sent me some seeds. I grew them last year. I got some big onions, and here they're away again. So that's Kelsey, and this is also Kelsey. These are a bit sparse, aren't they? These are Ailsa Craig. Okay, and these make a big onion. But what I'll point out with this Ailsa Craig is, and I don't know why this happens, is that but seeds seem to germinate at a different rate. For example, these guys have got 4 weeks behind them. What about this fella here? I hope you can see that. It looks as though he's just germinated. And this one here hasn't been germinated that long. So it would appear that seeds do germinate at a different rate, so when you plant them, don't give in too quickly. Don't think they're not coming. You just need to maybe give them a bit more time. So these are Ailsa Craig, and again, I grew some big onions last year from Ailsa Craig. In fact, I'm going to show you some before this video's completed, and I'm also going to show you something that you can get totally free. You've seen them on this channel many a time, and I know I've told you how to get them, but I've had a lot of new subscribers lately, so I'm going to repeat myself. Right, we've done them, done that, done that, done that. These two here got nothing in. I just haven't sewn anything in those two. And these two at the back are the gourmet shallot zebra. Okay, they don't seem to have done too well, but hey, it's early days, we'll leave them. You know, there are one or two here look as though they're just breaking through. So we'll give them more time. So that's zebra, the gourmet shallot. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these off this table and put something on that I'm going to tell you how to get your hands on absolutely free. Absolutely free. You'll be doing your bit for recycling, you'll be doing your bit for the planet, you'll be doing your bit for local businesses, and it's free. There's one on the table now. Can spot what it is? Right, let me get some of last year's onions up. We'll have a chat about those, and I'll tell you how to get your hands on some of these free items. These are some of the onions and shallots that I grew this year, and they've now been in store for about 2 months in these used, once used mushroom crates, and they're stack. Come on, they're stack. You'll have seen these on a few gardening videos. I bet you're wondering where you get your hands on them. Are you, or have you got some? If you've got some, you know where to get your hands on them. If you haven't got any, I'm going to tell you where to get your hands on them. Totally free. Totally free. Okay, yeah, so these are the banana shallots they're sometimes referred to. I like to call them gourmet shallots because that's what the chefs who cook with them predominantly call them, gourmet shallots. Yeah, and I've stored this way now for a number of years, and I think the best I've ever achieved to get an onion to store was about 6 months, and it would have probably gone longer, but we'd eaten all the others, so it had to go. So I have actually stored in these crates in my garage, which is predominantly dark, cool to cold in the autumn and winter months, and they store really well. Yeah, and these are very firm, these onions. I'm not too sure what's what, apart from I recognise the zebrooms, gourmet shallots. Let me see if I can show you the ones underneath. Hey, there's some big boys here, isn't there? Look at the size of that thing. Now that will either be an Ailsa Craig or a Kelsa. I'm not too sure which. That's probably bigger than your shop bought onion. And look at that. Yeah, and these are, what are these? Red Baron. These were grown from sets, all the white skins. I started myself from seed, or I got plants given. Right, let me tell you about these things. Let me tell you a tale. You'll enjoy this. As I've told it before, but I'll tell it again because, yeah, I've got a lot of new subscribers. So I'm in town, I'm going down our local high street, and the proprietor of our local Chinese restaurant, which I go to quite often for carry-outs, was just going into his shop. So I said, excuse me, yes, he said. I said, you know those blue mushroom crates, the crates you get your mushrooms in? Yes, yes, he said. I said, have you got any spare? I'm a gardener, I can find it, I've got a use for that. Come in, he said. Oh, crikey. Right, so we walked down the passage next to the shop, and now I'm in the kitchen, and there's people in there preparing food. The restaurant isn't quite open yet. It's early in the day, but there's people preparing food, and they look at me and I look at them. I know what they're doing, but they don't know what I'm doing. They probably thought, who's that? Anyway, he said, how many do you want? I said, how many can I have? Just a minute, he said. And he looks here and he looks there and he looks behind there. And I'm coming out with 6 of these. 6 crates. Now, the thing is, these are once used. If I didn't take those 6 crates, where are they going? Are they going to the recycler? God forbid they're not going to landfill. Come on. So, it's a win-win. I get these crates for free, he gets rid of them for free, and they don't have to go to the recycler or landfill and help further pollute the planet. We can use them again. So on the way out he said, do you want some more? And I said, have you got any more? He said, no, not now, he said, but later on in the week I get another delivery. I'll have a lot more of these if you want them. I said, you're the man for me. You're the kid for me. So I went down later on in the week and yeah, there was another stack of these. I'm stacked out with them now. You can do this. Come on, you can do this. Have you got a Chinese restaurant? Is that a yes? Have you got a local Indian restaurant? Is that a yes? Have you got somewhere that does pizzas? Is that a yes? Have you got an Italian restaurant? Have you got any restaurants locally that use mushrooms? I know you've ticked most of those boxes. Now all you've got to do is approach them and ask them. You're doing them a favour by taking these. They don't then have to get rid of them because you've taken them off their hands. And you're doing yourself a favour. You finish up with loads of these crates for stacking. And there's probably other things you can use them for. You saw in the video just prior to I put these on the table, what were those yogurt pots standing in? One of these. Make a date with your local restaurant. Just get yourself down there. Ask them, have you got any of these? Can you have them? Oh, and if you do that, and I sincerely hope you do, come back to us with a comment. Let us know how you get on at your local restaurant. I'm sure we're all interested. Okay, so this is Homegrown Veg signing out.